Hello everyone, I hope that you're doing well today, and in this video I'm going to be making a chocolate cake with peanut butter icing. And the first thing I'm going to be doing is baking, preheating the oven to 350, and the recipe that I am using is online. It's meant for a circle pan, and it's only one of them, so that's what I'll be sharing down below. But in this video I do have two square pans, and so my ingredients may look a little different than what is shown in the recipe. And so I am using first 1 cup of flour into a bowl, and also 1 cup of sugar. And I have 2 different bowls, and it's going to be, one is for the batter and then the other is going to be for the icing. I am gifting this cake to some people, and so that's why I have it in a square tin pan, because I was originally going to use a circle pan, so that's why I'm showing the recipe that I am down below for that. And then the other thing that I am doing is getting a 1/4 cup plus 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. And I'm going to be first mixing all of the dry ingredients in here, whisking that together, and then afterwards I'll put the wet ingredients in. Next, I will be doing 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking powder and baking soda. I really like this container for the baking soda that I have. I saw it at the store not too long ago. It's somewhat new, and I just thought it was a really neat idea because I'm surprised they just haven't done it before, made something like that, but I really like it, and I'll probably wind up refilling it too. And then I will get a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And then I'll go ahead and add my wet ingredients now. I am going to be adding 2 eggs. And I will be adding a 1/2 cup of milk. And then I will be doing 6 tablespoons of olive oil. I then add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. And then I go ahead and whisk all of that together until it is all combined and very smooth. And then the other thing that you could get going now is a 1/2 cup of boiling water. That is something that you need to add, that it calls for in the recipe. And This is my first time making chocolate cake like this from scratch, and so when I had seen that this was part of the recipe, I thought it was kind of interesting because I didn't know that that was something that you had to add. And so it does make the batter very thin and runny, but that's what you're looking for and the texture that you need. And then this is the part where I pour in the batter, and I do mess up a little bit in the beginning, and I pour too much into the first pan and I don't have enough for the other one because I was expecting more to fill out. But then I realized that I didn't need as much batter in the pans for them to, for the cake to get to the right size. So yeah, everything did turn out well. I just had to even it out a little bit better. And then I go ahead and put them in the oven for around 30 to 35 minutes. And I go ahead and bake them first before I even make the icing. And so I let them completely cool before I even make the icing, just so that right when I was done making it, I could just immediately layer on the finishing touches to the cake. And yeah, so they're gonna stay in the pan, and I have a lid, like a plastic lid for them, and they will get sent off as a gift. And so this is the part where we are making the peanut butter icing. And the first thing that is needed is 6 tablespoons of softened butter. So I already had some butter sitting out the night before because I knew I was going to be making this cake earlier in the morning. And then I'm going to be adding 3/4 of a cup of peanut butter. And this peanut butter is literally, I think, oil and peanut butter. I don't even think there's salt in it. And so it's a really good quality peanut butter. It's my first time ever getting this brand. I don't know how to say that name, but it's very plain, I'll tell you that, because usually when you get peanut butter, it has like some sugar or salt in it. So for bacon, this works out really well. And then you just want to first mix the peanut butter and the softened butter together and have that all combined. And I don't have a sifter, and so if you do, I would recommend using it when you go and pour in your powdered sugar. And so I did 1 cup of powdered sugar, so I did a half a cup, added a little bit at a time, then did my other half cup and add that a little bit at a time. I was mixing for a very long time because it was kind of clumpy, and I don't really think it would necessarily ruin it too much, but it was bothering me, like the way that it was looking with the clumps in the icing like that. It was bothering me. And so I took a lot of time to try to smoothen that out. But yes, if you have a sifter, please use that. Do not skip that. I need to buy one. I have one, but it's from the antique store, and I can't clean it correctly, and I don't like the fact that I can't, and so I don't want to use it. And so I added a half teaspoon of vanilla extract and 1 tablespoon of milk. Now it's saying you can use regular milk or heavy cream, but I didn't have any in the house, and I only had almond milk, so I just used that, and it worked out fine. There wasn't an issue with it at all. But I did add, instead of another tablespoon, I added like half of a tablespoon, and I put that in there just to make it a little bit creamier because it was almost to the texture that I wanted, but it wasn't fully there. And so if you want to make it creamier, then you can add, it says around 1 to 2 tablespoons, so be kind of generous in the beginning because you don't want to overdo it. And then, yeah, this is the part where it's almost about done, and I add on the icing, and it's one of those moments where I wish I could try and taste test it. I could have maybe made like a little batch on the side, but there was no way for me to really taste it other than the icing. I did try the icing, and that was really good because this was a request. I probably would have never thought to make something like this if it wasn't. So, yeah, it was really fun to make this, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and maybe was inspired to make something like this or something similar, because I realized chocolate and peanut butter, they go well together. And so thank you again for watching. I'll see you in the next video, and bye-bye.